Welcome back, you guys. I'm Tassie, and this is my Shaman Memoirs channel. So this video here, we're going to be going into some of my ghostly updates, and then we're going to go into the topic about traveling. And if you just started your spiritual journey, is it recommended you travel? So let's get started. First thing first, thank you guys. I did miss last week. We just discovered that my grandmother had passed away, and so my family and I, we've been scrambling around preparing for going to Fresno, California. So I will be out in Fresno, California for like almost 2 weeks. So I will try to post, you guys. However, I'm still going to be like working from home, etc. And then we got the funeral preparations and everything. So I will try to definitely post as I can, but no promises. I will be back by the 4th of July though. So this is my last grandmother. I do not have any other grandparents other than my grandmother who just passed away. She is actually from my maternal side. Now, did she come to me? Yes. She attempted to come 3 times now. And I've seen her one other time because we were doing a video chat and I saw her standing there and it creeped me out. But anyways, yes, she has tried to come to me only because she wants to tell me what she wants to wear when we actually bury her. So that's been settled, of course, and done with. But was I scared? Yes. Did I try running away? Oh God, yes. So, you know, it's not, you know, like the whole running away thing, okay? Like I've mentioned this to you guys in other videos, okay? I don't even care if it is my beloved, the beloved ghost of my dog, Grizzly. He passed away when I was in my 20s, and, you know, he has never come. He has not once ever come to me as a ghost. Thank freaking God. But I will say, when he did pass, though, they did tell me he already moved on. So it wasn't a thing where he was lost and confused, hanging around the house. Oh, thank God. But, you know, I truly, truly loved him. And I would not ever want to see the ghost of Grizzly, because in my mind, how I see things and how I bridge connections, I already know that's not my dog Grizzly anymore. That's not him the way I remember him as when he was alive. But for a lot of people, they would like to see, you know, people who have passed or animals that have passed possibly one more time. But I am not that person, y'all. I am very realistic. And so because I'm so realistic, though, I do realize that I may have a sensitivity chip that's missing, but in reality, for myself, I see it as the bigger picture. I get to the end point versus the sentimental daydreaming portion of what I believe a lot of people do. They fantasize and they think it's something else when it's not. That's not. Like my grandmother, on social media, I did post about the 3 spirits when my grandmother passed. And I was letting you guys know I wouldn't be able to do another video this week. So that the spirits that came to me asking for certain items when she's buried, that is her first spirit. Now her first spirit will be leaving hopefully soon if she makes the smart decision. You know, some spirits will choose to stay, others will choose to go. And it's, you know, people who are very angry or has a lot of things that, like unfinished business and stuff, they will choose to actually stay. But it's if it's too hard for them to bridge the understanding and the connection and letting go, that this is what you should be doing. Unfortunately, I don't get that option. I was telling my sisters, and she was so pissed at me because I was like, man, I really want to haunt people for a while before I go. And my sister gave me the dirtiest look, and she was like, of course you would. But obviously she thinks that that's really mean to do that. But I think it is hilarious. Like, but that's why I would want to do it, because I find it entertaining. I don't get that option. So I will be shackled and chained and boarded away. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But, you know, on the silver lining, you know, it's my last grandparent. However, my siblings and I, we have not all seen each other since before COVID. And then even then, years before then, because you know, I've mentioned in other videos, I have family who are, you know, they're in Okinawa, in Japan, they're in New Jersey, they're in California, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. So we are all flying to Fresno. And let me know if you guys know the Fresno area, because I've been to Fresno, but you know, I don't really have a whole lot of like recollection of like places to go in Fresno, but I really want to know food stuff. Okay, so if you guys know really good restaurants in Fresno, please let me know. Even like the Clovis. I don't know if Clovis is close to Fresno, but I think it is. But we are definitely doing Korean barbecue. We're going to be going to this really good Vietnamese sandwich shop, supposedly. And because everybody talks about California Vietnamese sandwiches are much better than here in Minnesota, I'm not contesting this, okay, y'all. I've never had California Vietnamamese sandwiches. So, and I love Vietnamese sandwiches. So we shall see. But because I'm going to be there for a week and a half, I've already counted all the meals I can have. And I'm putting in slots on where should we be eating, basically. Food is a really big deal for me. So, you know, when I go to Fresno, I'm going to be really excited to try out different foods that they have in that area. Granted, my sister is kind of warning me already, you know, I cannot compare the food from Fresno to a greater metro area, like where we have more variety and options and competition. Obviously, you know, I've eaten at a lot of big cities, and so she doesn't want me to have really high expectations, I guess. But I am going to go check out Little Asia, which is the supermarket that has Vootastic jerky, because y'all bet I am going there to get myself some Vootastic jerky because I ate all mine. Oh, and if you guys know of a good bar, let me know. No offense to anybody, but the times that I've been to Hmong bars, they're not real bartenders, y'all. And you know what that means to people who like to drink? If they are not real bartenders, they don't know how to mix drinks, okay? And that is a huge no-no for me. When I go to a bar, I want to make sure I can order a drink that I want. And the last time I was in Fresno for some reason doesn't know what the heck a Moscow Mule is, so I couldn't find any ginger beer at all in Fresno. We went to 7 freaking stores, you guys, looking for ginger beer. Nobody carried ginger beer. And then finally I went to one, it was an actual liquor store, and the owner was there, and he told me that ginger beer is not popular in Fresno, so that's why they probably don't have it. So I had to settle for ginger ale in a Moscow Mule. Okay, like, really? I was very disappointed. And then the other time I was in Fresno, remember I told you guys in another video of how I was almost kidnapped, or at least I felt like I was gonna get kidnapped. Like, I felt like my life was in jeopardy because I was walking my sister's dog, because I used to have a German Shepherd and she has a German Shepherd. And I'm saying this because unless none of y'all have ever walked a German Shepherd, feels like your arm's gonna get ripped out of its socket, okay? Anyways, yeah, like this pimped out SUV with all these guys, they got out of it. And I thought they were there to kidnap me, but they supposedly just wanted my number, my name for their boss. It was the creepiest experience I've ever had in my life. Besides the time where I was kidnapped by a taxi driver. My life, the things that have happened in my life is pretty insane. But we're gonna move on. Alright, ghostly update time, you guys. So, when we found out about my grandmother who passed away, right, I went to go sleep over at my brother's house, and, you know, they have spirits there. And so I was sleeping there, and then I sleep with my sister, and she has like a king bed. So we're sleeping there, and in the room, there's a shelf that's like see-through. So you can see to the other side of the room, right? And I remember in the morning, I realized my eyes were already open, and I was starting to focus and become aware. And then I saw this thing. Okay, it was a man, and he was standing behind the shelf, and he kept like peeking like through the items on the shelf, looking at me to see what I was doing. And then he kept pacing back and forth, and then he would stop and peek through the shelf again. And it's probably because to him it looks like I'm watching him the whole time, right? But then I was only starting to become aware. And then when I started to become aware, somebody had made a really loud bang because they were going to the restroom, and when you close the door, you know, it's like older houses. Sometimes the doors don't match up the frame exactly, right? And then that jolted me fully awake, and then the thing disappeared, right? For myself, when I see the entities, you know, like at people's houses like that, it doesn't really scare me because for the most part, they tend to stay away. It's only if they're trying to interact with me, that's when I'm more alarmed. So it's just another entity. It's not a big deal. Oh, and so like recently I was yelled at. So, okay, I have no idea what possessed me to do this, okay, you guys? You ever get those feelings where sometimes you do something really zany and weird and out of character and you don't really know where it came from, but you just did it, okay? Now, if that doesn't happen to you, I don't know what to tell you. So, recently I went to a storage unit and for some reason, remember that Godzilla-sized sword I have, you guys? For some reason, I was just swinging it around, okay? Like, I was walking down this hallway, and it's well lit, it's room temperature controlled, and for some reason, my Godzilla sword came out, and here I am just whipping it through the hallways, right? All of a sudden, my Kwaning, my spirit guides, they come out, and they tell me, "Cha'oluhia." And I was like, who? Like, who are you talking to? Because it basically means you're being bad. You're being pretty shitty bad. Okay, you shouldn't be doing this. And so I was like, huh. Like, because in that moment, I didn't even realize what I was doing. I was just whipping it around for no apparent reason. But it was kind of like you're clearing your path, right? But, you know, after I got yelled at, they had to explain to me that I'm basically like disturbing and riling up all the spirits there because it looks like I'm there to be Rambo. And then I was like, huh, okay, I see this now. I don't know why I did it. Okay, I can't explain. You asked me why did I do it. I don't know why I did it. I just did it. But anyways, yeah, so it was really interesting to get yelled at so randomly. Alright, so to the topic of this video, we're going to be talking about traveling, especially if you're spiritually inclined, especially if it's the beginning of your journey, and especially because I'm about to go to California. So, as you guys may have noticed with my other videos, when I went out to LA and then Chicago, and then now I'm going back to California, typically when I travel, I do experience a lot of ghostly things. So, I was asked, is it advised, if you're beginning your spiritual journey, should you be traveling, okay? Because this individual wants to travel, but they're kind of afraid of the repercussions, right? What I'm going to tell you, it's basically going to depend. Everything is going to basically depend. So for myself, my experience was that my spirit guides taught me how to protect myself. So basically, your guides, whatever you go through, whatever anybody goes through, right? You should be able to always undo it, but you need to look for the answer within yourself sometimes. If you need help from somebody else, what that basically means is that you cannot undo or do those types of magic. That's basically what it means. So a lot of times, you know, for shamans, we always encourage that you practice and you try to, the experiences that you have, it's supposed to make you stronger so that you learn how to undo these problems. That's what it means. So if you are somebody who travels and you want to travel and you feel like you need to travel, like I'm that kind of person. I'm very rather free-spirited and I do love to travel. So for myself, you know, I always have levels of protection around me wherever I go. Now, whenever I travel though, I'm really curious and I'm very open. I'm very open to the new experiences I'm about to have. And when I do that though, ghosts will come through and I will see more things more often. And the big difference is because, like, why does that happen? Okay, so when I don't go to many places, y'all, I go home, to the store, or my brother's house. That's pretty much where I go the most, okay? So when I do go to these places, I've already built up my layers because I'm used to that area. I'm used to my surroundings. So I've already practiced so many times where it's natural. It just comes out where I am able to sufficiently protect myself, right? In the scenarios that I go to places where I'm not sure what the area is going to bring me, right? I do set up levels of protection as well as I am preparing to go on my journey, and then once I reach my journey. It's if you kind of think about it, where some witches, for example, or even in voodoo, you guys can do certain rituals to protect the land or the area once you've gotten there, like you've cleansed your hotel or something like that. So it's really just for myself though, what I protect is myself. Okay, y'all, remember, I will ditch you at the first sign of a demon. So I am really good at protecting myself. So, you know, like I know how I will handle and react to things. So naturally, I know how to easily be able to protect myself. Now, I do sometimes protect others. However, you know, there has to be a reason. I don't do it to strangers, obviously. But I know how to do it, yes, but my spirit guides are like, why? Like, it's not our job, you know? So, when I do reinforce protection on those who I love though, yes, you know, like you can, there is basically a magic to do it, and your guides should teach you how to do that if it is an ability you should have. So if you are somebody who does travel a lot, your spirit guides will know this. They will know it. And they should be teaching it to you. Okay, like, and okay, because the thing is, I get it. Sometimes with like my advice and stuff, it's because I am so different. So if you aren't like me, you don't hear the voices, you don't see them, you know, what do? You have to learn how to get the gut feeling and the instincts and just do something. Just, if you don't know what to do, the easiest thing that I can give you guys as advice is to just do something. Even if you don't know what it is you're doing, do something and put the intent behind it that you're trying to protect. That's going to be the easiest magic for you. Hope that makes sense. Now, I will say when I first became a shaman though, there was a period of time where I did not like to be around people. It wasn't even about traveling. It was just, I didn't like being around people. Like, you know, if I go to certain places, I will start to feel pain in my body somewhere, you know, like funeral homes especially. But, you know, like even if I go to the mall, if I go to the store, I will suddenly feel like a shooting pain, you know, like that's how you know you're not fully protected or there's something pretty strong there. And so that's when you need to practice and bring focus again and protect yourself so that you don't feel that pain. Because sometimes when I go to the Mall of America, especially after COVID and I went back to the Mall of America, oh my God, I was like aching all the time, every time I'm in the Mall of America. But for myself though, I will feel the pain if there's going to be a lot of ghosts around too though. So that doesn't really help. But it's like, okay then, like there's no point. Like, but normally for shamans, when they feel physical pain, it's because it's something stronger. That's why. Now, the same theory applies if somebody was looking into you. So if you're a shaman, I don't know about you guys, but for myself, I know when it's happening. You know, it's like, but it's because of my abilities, and that's how come I'm able to tell. So if I'm out and about, like for example, when I went out to California for LA for filming, my spirit guides kept telling me I was supposed to meet somebody who is a shaman, but they're going to surprise me. And I was like, well, who is it? And they wouldn't tell me because it's supposed to be a surprise. So, you know, I did end up meeting this person. And when I finally met them, I was like, oh my God. But I did this weird thing where I was just like that. And they didn't understand the context because I was like, you're who my spirit guides were talking about. But she probably didn't know what that reaction was. Now that I think about it, she's probably like, what was that? Because I was like, oh my God. Like, it was just so stupid because I'm always like talking to myself. So it's like, she didn't fully understand the whole story. So if she ever sees this video, that's what it was about. But, you know, like my spirit guides will typically tell me things that will happen or things that I will run into. So it's kind of like a foreshadowing and stuff like that. Especially if I don't listen, they will force certain things to happen because I don't listen most of the time. And so they will make certain things happen a certain way. So, and then later on, I'm like, oh, thank you, because I was so stupid. You know, like, so they do these little things because they know I'm that stupid. Sorry, y'all. Okay, well, they said you're not stupid. You just choose not to listen. Now, when I was not wanting to be around people, it was because of the things that I would find out or things that I would know, and then how it changes you as a person. And, you know, you're better off never knowing these kind of things. And, you know, like I just chose to basically become a hermit. And I stayed away from a lot of people, you know, and so there are a lot of times where I do just stay home a lot and nobody knows where I've been up to, because this feeling comes over me, and it's kind of like a reset. Like, you know, like for empaths and stuff, when you go out, for myself, I love going out. You know, I love going on new adventures, going to new places, but I need a break in between because it can be very draining. You know, being around a lot of different people, emotions, spirits, it can be very draining where you do need a break. You do want to get away because this isn't my whole life. Like, this is just who I am, but I don't focus on the abilities and the magic behind it all and the powers. I'm not that kind of person. I don't sit there. I sit there and watch Netflix, or I watch scary movies like Annabelle Creations. That movie was scary, okay? Like, I hate children ghosts, okay? I hate them with a passion. So literally, like, I always make my boyfriend watch all scary movies with me because I'm not watching it alone. And, you know, he's sitting there watching it with me, and there's moments where I'm like gripping onto his shirt because I was so scared. But anyways, back to this point of the story. So for myself, I definitely think, you know, if you want to travel, you should travel, because when you've had enough and you can't cope or deal with it anymore, trust me, you will go and do a retreat where you will want to just do a staycation. You stay at home. That is how I recover the fastest after being out and about, experiencing all these things. Like, I mean, y'all, I already know after California, like almost 2 weeks in California, I'm gonna be like begging my boyfriend to come pick me up from California so I can go home. Because, you know, after being out, there's no place I want to be more than home. Like, home is my favorite place to be. You know, it's like, as much as I love being out and about, experiencing new things, I need my break. So you will have your breaks where you will get that feeling when you need a break. You will. Because it will just be so draining, and it will change you where you no longer enjoy it until you get your break. So you will have to go through that. Now, I definitely encourage people to go and travel and definitely see the world, even if you're starting on your spiritual journey, because that is part of your actual spiritual journey. Because if you don't do those things, you're not going to experience and know, like, the things that I went through. Like Egan, and how I feel like it's a not good area for me. I would have never known that if I didn't keep going there, right? And so as you keep doing that, you learn to feel out certain areas, certain lands, and, you know, everything like that. And so you will also run into so many different types of entities. Like, you know, like there's spirits that I've met where I'm like, I didn't know you existed. I didn't think you were real. You know, like, you know, I still do that, you know, where I don't think it's real, and then it's like hitting me, and I'm like, okay, maybe you are real, but, you know, it's like, you won't know these things unless you actually do go out into the world. And that's what I also encourage for even like Hmong shamans. A lot of people misconstrue that for Hmong shamanism, you can only offer services to Hmong people. That's not true. It's not true whatsoever. If you never offer services to other races or other ethnicities, you won't ever know what else is out there. There is so many other things out there. And I believe with our older generation, it has to do with just a language barrier, where if they struggle being able to speak English to somebody who can only speak English, I totally get where they're not comfortable doing the services, but everything with the spirit, it's touchable in the spirit world. So I definitely always encourage people to just try different things, because you'll never know it unless you actually try it, and how doable it all is. Same thing with, you know, I've done services for people who go to church, and that's how I discover the different realms. And then that's how I learn all the different rules. But if you don't do those things, you would never know it. But I am really excited to be going out to Fresno just to see and be around family, because it's been a while, you know, especially with COVID. It definitely has been a while. We do a lot of like Facebook chats where we're all like in group chats, and we talk for hours pretty much every other night or every night for a while. And so just doing that, it really has helped, you know, bridge the connection where it feels like we're all hanging out in the same room. And, you know, oftentimes my boyfriend, he'll join in our videos too. And so, because then he'll be like, well, who are you talking to? What are you guys talking about? And then he'll listen to the conversations, and he wants to join in, and he'll take my phone from me. And I'm just like, who, go get your own chat. Okay. Like, so it's just, you know, like, it's going to be really exciting because my sister's out in Japan. She's been gone for 3 years. So I haven't seen her in person in 3 years. She cannot wait to come back to the States because she is so tired of Okinawa. You know, like, things are very different there, obviously. And there's things that she's going to miss, but she really, really, really wants to come back to the States. You know, because a lot of restaurants and stores, they close really early there. They don't have the super late 2 a.m. kind of restaurants and bars, and they don't have Uber delivery where they do Uber Eats and everything. So they don't even have Uber, you know, obviously in Japan. So, you know, she's really excited to come back to the States, even though Okinawa is very, very beautiful. But it's going to be exciting because my brother-in-law, he is coming back, but my brother, he is still going to stay out in Okinawa because he still has to stay his term. I don't know where he's going to go next. I think he may be coming back to the States too once he's done in Okinawa. But I am excited because my younger sister in Okinawa, her and her husband, they are moving here to Minnesota. So I am super excited. She's going to get settled in California for a little bit, and then she's going to head over here to Minnesota. So remember, put down in the comments good restaurants, you guys. So I'm going to be trying out a lot of different places in Fresno, and I am really excited. I do love the amount of like huge grocery stores that Fresno has. I'm one of those people who like to browse grocery stores. Does that make any sense? Because if it does, you're my people, okay? Like, I like to just look around in grocery stores. Alright, you guys, so until next time, I will talk to you guys later. I know I'm planning on doing a video about passing on, etc. It's coming, y'all. So it will come once I can actually film again, hopefully. So I will get this all situated, you guys, in California, and then I will try and upload some videos, or I might even go live. It really depends because the lighting might not be great. Ooh, and before I go, I just want to let you guys know, my grandma, she passed away in the actual house, but not where I'm staying. And so I'm deathly afraid to go to the house, like where my mom lives. Like, I'm really afraid to go there. I have that feeling like when your stomach drops, it's just like to the ground. Like, I am really afraid. I don't know. I'm just really afraid to go in case I see her. And I'm not that kind of person who wants to see this kind of stuff. So I'll let you guys know. All right, you guys, until next time.